hello, and welcome to my channel. I recently recorded a video for my human design income system students on circuitry. They wanted to learn about how different circuitries kind of play together. And after I recorded the video, I realized this is actually really good information that a lot of human design teachers don't talk about. So I am going to make it available here for the public for free. Typically, all of my videos are in the Human Design Income System portal. So I will post a link to that if that is something that you're interested in. We are currently running a sale. All right, so enjoy. I can't wait to hear what you think. Hello, and welcome to podcast episode I don't even know. Um, it's been a little bit. So I'm excited to get back on here and talk to you guys about some things. So I did ask in the Telegram group what questions you guys had, and someone had mentioned circuitry and the way that it might feel or it might look or it might sound like to have multiple circuitries, multiple energies playing at the same time. So let's talk about that. I feel like we can't get enough of circuitry. And honestly, I'm so glad because we don't talk enough about circuitry. And by we, I don't mean us, obviously, because we do talk about it a lot, but in traditional human design circles, like in online, like on Instagram, how often do you see someone talk about circuitry? And the truth is, circuitry is so critical. Like, it is your operating system. It is what the entire body graph is built on top of. It is what is playing in the background while you are living your life. So think about, okay, this is a wild example, analogy, metaphor, simile. I don't know. I never know the difference. Wild example, okay? And you might be like, no, this is crazy. This does not actually work here. And that's fair. But what if your circuitry is sort of like your subconscious mind? Like it is the operating system, it is running in the background, it is influencing what you think, how you behave, your dreams, your intentions. It certainly influences your purpose, what you're here to accomplish or how you're here to accomplish it. It is how your energy moves. It's almost like, okay, energy is never wasted, right? So energy has an intention. Energy moves with some sort of intention. And this is the intention behind your energy. This this is the this is wild. I know. And actually, I think like I just went through an entire page of my notes just now. So I'm gonna have to check on that. But I hope that's making a little bit of sense though, just to give you like a better idea of how circuitry actually, how important it actually is and how it's always influencing us. Influencing us. That's a good word. Okay, let me share my screen. So I did post this actually on my stories this morning because if you're familiar with genetic matrix, I didn't know. I just don't play around with genetic matrix. Like I'm in and I'm out. I'm usually just running charts for you guys, finding out your circuitry, and then I'm out. But I was playing around today because I was looking for something, and I came across quantum component 2. And this just kind of gives me everything I want. Like, if you're curious about what only your mind has access to, this is something we just talked about in my Advanced Psychology of Human Design program. We also have a Telegram group, and somebody just asked about this. So we were chatting about what it means for her to not have her bridges in her personality, meaning that her mind does not have access to her bridges. So how does her design, how does that affect her body? And then that took us down the rabbit hole of let's find out what each one of these bridges is actually which body part it's actually associated with. And you can do that using your Gene Keys book. And I realize I have totally digressed here, but this could be important for someone. She said that her bridges associated with certain body parts that she's always had issues with. So when I tell you the bridges are key, the bridges are key. Like if you are deconditioning, if you are doing your shadow work, if you are just in a place where you're like, life sucks right now, I don't know, I just keep repeating the same patterns, and you're a split definition or a quad split, your bridges are everything. Again, something we don't talk about in the human design community. But I didn't even make this up. I did not make this up. I just dove deep enough into the details of source material to find where Ra was like, if you're split definition, your bridges are your number one conditioning factors. And that is thanks to my Gate 9 collective energy, what I am here to share. And we're going to talk about that. And yes, I wrote it down because I didn't want to forget. Anyway, I totally digress. In classic manifesting generator form, there's been like 85 sidebars since we started this video, but I hope you guys are enjoying it at least, whatever. You just never know what I'm gonna talk about. Okay. So quantum component two, it shows you your design and your personality. I love looking at this because I think it's so interesting that like my mind does not know that I have a defined ego. And when I tell my mind, when I introduce it to my mind, when I first found human design and I was like, I have a defined ego. I was like, oh my God, okay, it's safe to be confident. It's safe to not have to or to prove myself. Like we're so used to saying like I don't need to prove myself. No, like I love proving myself. Like I'm not proving my worth. Mine is very competitive in a good way, okay? It's that gay 51. Like it's like a competitive, like let me prove myself to you. But it's not in like a negative, like I don't feel like I failed. I don't feel like it has affected my self-esteem when I do it. It's like what's the word I'm looking for? Like a positive reinforcement, whatever. Anyway, I digress. I love this because it shows me this and it also shows me the quantum at the same time. We are always operating in the quantum, even if we break it apart to look at these two different charts. The truth is, we're always operating in the quantum, and it's the same with circuitry. Like you might have three different circuitries that are playing around inside of you at all times. It's the quantum, right? It's the quantum. We can't just be like, okay, well, now I am going to operate from this energy only. It's like, no, it's all within us. It's all plays together harmoniously. But I love this because it also shows me my circuitries. So it's like all in one chart. Um, yeah. So as you can see, highly individual. In case you didn't know, because I feel like I mention this all the time. Okay. What did I come here for? What are we doing here? Okay. Let me stop this share for a second because I realized I had someone else's chart up and I want to close that. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go back to normal view and let's talk circuitry. Let me pull up some of my notes. Okay, what haven't I said yet? So how mixed circuitry works. Circuitry is our operating system. It shows us what our energy is designed to do. It's always present underneath, kind of like the subconscious mind, and it's influencing our traumas, our belief systems, our intentions, our thoughts, our actions, our behaviors. It's influencing everything. So if you remember from the videos that I have on circuitry inside the HDIS portal, Individual circuitry is here to empower. It's here to bring something new or different. This is innovation, it's mutation. Underneath the individual circuitry, there are sub-circuits, right? We have the knowing and the centering sub-circuits. So somebody had asked this question actually earlier today. She was using the fast pass tool and she was like, there's no logical. Like logical is part of the collective circuitry. It's a sub-circuit. So when we are looking at putting circuitry into the FastPass tool to give you your most aligned product, we are doing that through you're using the main circuit, individual, collective, or tribal. Okay. So individual circuitry is empowering others and yourselves. It's bringing something new or different. It's innovation. Collective circuitry is sharing. This is learning from the patterns and experiences to pass knowledge on to the collective. And then tribal circuitry is support. This takes care of needs, resources, relationships, community. So the way that I have translated this into the business world is individual circuitry innovation, right? Creating something new. Innovation, in order to be as creative as your energy allows, you have to have downtime, right? You have to have patience. I have gate one, line one in my conscious sun. That is creative timing. That is essentially patience. Like I'm creative when I'm creative. I don't know when I'm creative, right? Like I'm creative right now at 9 o'clock in the morning. But yesterday, when I was trying to work on this, when I was putting it all together, I was like, I got nothing. I got nothing. Stared at an empty screen, blank screen. I just don't know. So I have to give myself space to let that innovation come through, to be creative. How do I do that? I'm so glad you asked because I only mention it every 3,000 times, like 3,000 times a day. Digital products. I run a successful business. Thank God, whatever, khamsa khamsa. I run a successful business because I run digital products, because I'm constantly selling the same digital product over and over and over again. And that gives me space to do what I need to do to create more, to be innovative, to mutate, to do something different. Like, when I know that my digital products are selling and I don't need to worry about money and I don't need to worry about where my next client's going to come from, it's just selling on the back end because I've done the work. I've created the funnel. I run the ads. I scheduled the Instagram. Like, and it's not a lot of work, right? To do these things once you know how to do them. And then it's running. And then my individual circuitry, because I am dominantly individual, that is an urge, a desire, and a belief system, if you will, that I have to continuously be creative. I'm always thinking, what can I create next? And I'm not thinking that because I want to make money. I'm thinking that because I'm always thinking that. Like, funny, I was talking to someone in the gym bathroom of all places a little while ago, and she was talking about she's a college girl. She was talking about getting into fitness and this and that and the other thing. And I'm like, here's what you can create. Like, here's what nobody's done before. And here's what I'd love to see. And here's what girls your age are missing. Like, it's just constantly what I'm thinking about. How can I innovate or how can you innovate what's already there? It's just my thought pattern. Have I had to decondition to let my natural tendencies come out? Yes. I had to stop thinking about my traumas. I had to stop thinking about why I'm fucked up. I had to stop thinking about why I can't be successful, about why I'm not creative enough. I always thought there's no way when I first found out that I had gate one in my son creativity. I was like, I'm the least creative person. I cannot draw to save my life. Like, that is not the only way to be creative. But we're so conditioned to think of things in specific ways. So yes, I've had to decondition. And again, I digress here, but I just want to show you how some of this plays out naturally. So individual empowering, these are the key words. Collective is share, tribal is support. But obviously, most people are going to have more than one kind of circuitry in their chart. And that doesn't mean that you walk around saying or thinking, I'm feeling super collective today. Nobody does that. Just like I'm not walking around thinking, subconsciously, I am a success today. No, like I just am, right? Like you just are collective. Pause. Okay. You may not feel your circuits on separate levels, but think about your body graph as your business, right? Think about your body graph as your coaching business, your digital product business, whatever it is. Within your business, there are different departments, there's different duties, there's different processes. So, individual is your innovation. This is your research and development, right? What can we do different? How can I stand out on Instagram? How can I be different than the gazillion human design Instagram accounts? And then there's collective. How am I going to communicate my message? What have I learned that I can share? What are the systems, the processes, the experiences, right? We have experiences and we have logic. Like what are these things that I can share that I can pass on to the collective? And then tribal. What do my people need? How can I actually support them? Does this work actually support them? All three departments, all three processes are working at the same time. Although in your mind, it might seem like a boop, 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 like one, two, three, but they're all to the person that is purchasing from you, to the person that is watching you from the outside, they're not seeing it as a one, two, three process. It's cumulative. And this is where I'm going to throw in the gates. So we want to look at which gates and channels we have, which circuits, which channels are in the circuits. Am I saying that right? I don't know why it's not computing. The circuit is going to give us our bigger purpose, but the channel or the gate within it is going to show us how it plays out. So I'm going to use the quadfecta as my example because well, obviously the quadfecta is T, but I don't know, is that what the kids say? But obviously you have a circuit, like each gate has a circuit. Okay, but I want to show you how this plays out. So, for example, I have a lot of individual circuitry in my quadfecta. My gate one, the creative, right? Create something new and unique. My gate 14 in my unconscious Mars right here puts resources, puts energy and resources towards things that matter. They have to be things that matter. I cannot be compromising. That is why sometimes it takes me a really long time to complete something, or I do it really quickly because I can't be compromising my energy. And if I'm compromising my energy, it's affecting my work. And I also can't be compromising my work. Like there is someone, and I'm going into this because someone just asked me about gate 14. Um, Someone has been asking me to create something for her for months, probably like a year. She's like, I'd love to see this. And it's always just been a no for me. And I didn't want to compromise my energy for it. I felt like I was compromising my creativity to create this for you. But again, we started talking about it again yesterday or today. I don't remember what I said, but she's like, I'm still waiting for this. And I was like, okay, now it's feeling like a yes. Now it's feeling like, ooh, I have some energy behind this. My sacral's like, ooh, we got this. Here's how I'm going to innovate it. Here's how I'm going to do it different. So you have to trust. There's a lot of trust that's involved with individual energy of timing, when the timing is correct. But again, in the portal, you guys have multiple videos about individual energy, deep dive, small dive, I forget what I call it. So you have all this information. But again, we have Gate 14 puts energy and resources towards things that matter. Gate 28, down here, my conscious Pluto, this is going to look for what is worth struggling for. And we're changing the name struggle. We are rebranding all the gates, but right now, until I get a comprehensive list, I am working on that for you guys. This is looking for something that is worth struggling for. Purpose. It is looking for purpose. And then I also have gate 50. So gate 50 is actually tribal. And gate 50 looks for what is, sorry, just read my gate 28. Gate 50 is concerned with values, responsibility, and what helps preserve and support the group. So under each of my three gates, I told you the definition of them, but underneath them, what is brewing, if you will, is innovation, mutation, empowerment. And under my gate 50, what is brewing? Yes, it's values, it's responsibilities, but it's support. Support for the tribe, preserving the tribe. So these energies that don't have to fight each other. I might have an individual thought of like, wait, what if we do this completely differently? Like my client who messaged me about creating something for her to use with her clients. I'm like, okay, well, I haven't done it because this is the way I was thinking about it, but what if I do it completely differently? What if I do this? How would this help you? And then my gate 50 is like, is this going to support her? Is this going to be valuable for her? Is it going to help her clients? Like, can I give this? Can I go into it and give it everything? Right? Like, am I going to be able to give her everything enough for it to be supportive, enough for it to help the tribe? It's still all me. They're just different parts of my design that are acting out, right? That are doing different jobs, if you will. And then obviously, I feel the urge to share. But that isn't necessarily coming from my quadfecta because I don't have collective energy in my quadfecta, but that doesn't mean that I don't have the energy to share. So my next natural step is the way that I share is going to come from my collective energy. And within the portal, you guys have the cheat sheet, the collective energy cheat sheet, which is going to give you your burden to share, how you share. And like I went through all my collective gates. This is not something I think about daily, consciously, right? Like I'm not like, okay, well, my gate 5 wants to share a pattern that I've noticed. May I share this pattern with you all? Like, no. But I did go through all my collective gates so that I could write it down for you guys and show you if you know me, if you've watched any of my things, if you follow me on Instagram, I naturally share this way. And when I wrote it all out, I was like, laughed out loud because I was like, yes. Like, this is so me. This is my thought process when I share. I often use these exact words when I share. And it wasn't because I knew this, it was just because it's natural to me. And this is what happens when you let yourself live your natural energy. You naturally become naturally you. And that's the point of the human design income system is to help you, I want to say alive, come bring to life, awaken, awaken your natural gifts, your natural tendencies to share in this way, to innovate in this way, to support the tribe in this way. And then I show you how to translate that into business. Like if you have a lot of tribal energy, you have a natural tendency to want to support people one-on-one or in small intimate groups. So like coaching and one-on-one work is so beneficial to you. It's going to make you feel like you get to be yourself. If you're highly individual, you want time to yourself to be able to think, to clear your mind, to create something new. That's going to look different. That might be digital products, or it might be one, big course where you launch it once a year and it pays for your entire year. Who cares? It gets to look different for everyone. But the point is to honor and to nurture your natural energy and to allow that. to come out because that is how you become effortlessly successful by just being yourself. So yes, there's deconditioning that needs to be done. I don't, do I currently have a deconditioning course? I have the advanced psychology of human design, but that is like super, super, super deep into like doing shadow coaching. I have effortless success, which is my manifestation techniques to help you decondition and rewire. Um, there's my 31-day deconditioning challenge that I did a few years ago that I can post a link to that is beneficial, but I'm trying to think. I'm sure I have something because I built my entire business on human design shadow. Do I have something that's like a mini course for deconditioning? What am I missing? Oh, duh. My human design shadow and trauma masterclass that can help you, that can really actually, that's great. I really recommend that. And I'll post it with a coupon code actually. That will help you really recognize where you are playing out your shadows and your traumas and your conditionings and not allowing your true nature to be awakened, awoken, woke. I don't know, whatever. Okay, back to what we're talking about. Collective. So this is how our burden to share. And I took this directly from the cheat sheet that I have for you guys in the program. And gate five, I've noticed a pattern. Naturally, what I say. Gate seven, here's the direction I see us going in. Here's the direction we're going. When I switched from shadow, from human design shadow to more empowering human design business, I said, this is where I see us going because I see my clients getting stuck. I've also been stuck here in the shadows, in the trenches, in the deep dark cave. And this is where I see us going. 13, carrying stories for others. This is what I hear. This is what people are asking me for. Here are the stories that people are sharing with me. 58, let's improve this for more joy. And I find myself thinking this a lot. Like, how do I make people happier? How do I show people how to be happier? And one of those elements was getting out of the darkness, out of the shadow, and into empowering more empowering language, which is why I'm also rebranding the gates. I've done the shadow gates. People have been very upset about this. I've already done the shadow gates. We know the shadows. But if you're ready to transition from the shadow, from the bullshit, to your truest self, to your ideal self, to your empowered self, to your superpower self, whatever you want to call it, I haven't come up with a name yet, then we're rebranding and we want them to be more fun. Okay? Something is coming on that too. Gate nine, I've honed in on this detail that others have missed. You've heard me say that. 64, I've been lost in the sauce. And here's what I've learned. I literally just said that. Hands down. I hope this makes sense. I hope that you understand that like all of these circuitries are playing out in different thoughts and different behaviors, different intentions, you might not recognize it. You might not be feeling it. But the reason that I have you find your most dominant circuitry is because those are going to be your dominant thoughts. So there is a shadow side to the circuitries, especially individual, which we go over inside the human design income system, inside the videos. There is a shadow side, but we want to focus on what am I innovating? What am I creating? Collective. How can I share this? How can I share what I've learned? How can I share my process? What can I create? Like, what framework would be helpful for the collective? And then tribal, how can I support? How can I make sure we continue to live through this? So your circuitry is the programming underneath. Your gate is going to show you what does this specific energy do? What is this circuitry trying to accomplish is a really great question to ask yourself. That makes mixed circuitry much easier to understand without pretending we experience our circuitry as three separate personalities. You may not feel Your different circuitries differently, separately. Circuitry isn't your personality. It's the underlining mechanics of your energy. I wanted to say it's the purpose. It's your purpose. It's literally your life purpose. But some people, we won't go there yet. We won't go there yet. Okay. I hope this was helpful. Check down below for links and things that I promised. If I promised a link that is not down there, please let me know because I've already forgotten what I said. So everything you need is in the human design income system in the modules. You can pop into the Telegram group if you have questions. Can't wait to talk to you about this. I love you. Bye.